Hello, this is Ant's Gaming Suite. This is your host Anthony, and we are back with a brand new game like no other before. But before we jump straight into this video, it's all about Honkai Star Rail, whether it is worth playing. Before we jump straight into it, smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell for further games around Gacha, especially my love for Honkai Star Rail at the moment. However, we are going to be digging deeper into this game. Today, we're going to be talking about this brand new gacha game that has taken the mobile game PC world by storm. Pretty much, it is called Honkai Star Rail, if I haven't already mentioned. So, the developers are pretty much created by the same studio that created the mega popular Genshin Impact. Now, MiHoyo Star Rail is a game that promises and delivers an immersive experience like no other, but it's not something that we haven't experienced before, similar to Genshin Impact. But the question is, does it really live up to its hype? Let's find out in this video. First things first, let's talk about the gameplay. Honkai Star Rail is a role-playing game that takes place in a very futuristic world where humanity is pretty much threatened by these evil forces that's known as Honkai. And for those of you who are wondering, do I have to play this game? Or do I have to play the previous Honkai Impact game, the Honkai 3rd? I believe there's a whole bunch of series out there on the mobile. However, the answer is no, you do not have to. Now, players take on the role of the captain of the Star Rail, which you will experience later down the track as you get moving on to this main storyline. And I gotta admit, the train is pretty darn awesome. The game has its own impressive storyline, and the characters are all unique with their own personalities and backstories. Similar to how Genshin Impact has all their character lore, this is the same. Now, the gameplay is quite similar as I've already mentioned, but there are some unique features. For example, the combat system. It is very fast paced and action packed. The game offers a variety of challenges and game modes to keep you engaged. And the one thing that's really cool about this particular game is when you are in battle, the ability to be able to auto battle and then 2 times the speed is pretty darn convenient at times. One of the best things about Honkai Star Rail is also its graphics. The game is visually stunning with beautiful 3D graphics and animation. Nothing expected, or I guess by the creators of Genshin Impact, so you can't expect any less. The game visuals are pretty much on par, I have to say, and it's clear that MiHoyo has put a lot of effort into making this game look great. Now, the game's sound effects and music are pretty impressive, I have to say the least. And to add, well, it pretty much adds to the overall experience of the game. Now, let's talk about the gacha aspect of the game, because a lot of people are probably wondering, alright, it's in one of those another gacha games, how much do I have to spend? Especially when you are a fresh person playing gacha game. Genshin Impact did have a lot of swipey swipe here and there, cha-ching, you know what, the gist of gacha games. So pretty much Honkai Star Rail has a system where it's similar. You do collect characters, you have a pity system similar to Genshin Impact, and while it can be a little bit controversial in terms of some of these games, it's worth noting that Honkai Star Rail has a fairly generous gacha system, particularly in this game compared to Genshin. Now, the rates for getting rare characters are high, or pretty much like every other gacha game, but the players can earn a lot of in-game currency, which can be used to spin and open characters. And once again, that being said, there is still an element of luck involved, and some players may have to spend a lot of money to get the character they want, and then there are others who's gonna pretty much pull it in the next couple of minutes. So, is Honkai Star Rail really worth playing? To be honest, in my personal aspect, or my personal opinion, I think so, absolutely. The game offers a unique and engaging gameplay experience with a stunning visual and an immersive storyline. Now, the gacha system is fair, and there's a lot of content that keeps player engaged and consistently playing. However, it is clear that MiHoyo has put a lot of effort into making sure that it does show in this game and why you should play it. In conclusion, I reckon overall, if you're a fan of gacha games and you're looking for something new to play on your mobile phone or even the PC, perhaps Honkai Star is definitely worth checking out. So what are you waiting for? Pretty much download the game now and pretty much embark on your journey to save humanity from the Honkai threats. But let's jump straight into checking out the overall interface that we have seen similar to Genshin Impact. So moving into the user experience or the user interface, we are faced with a lot of common things that we see in Genshin Impact. For example, you see all your character parties on the right hand side, you have your characters 1, 2, 3, 4 button, and you also have your skill slot on the very right hand bottom corner. Quests are pretty much the same. And in terms of other interfaces, for example, when you have your look at the phone, you have your things that you've seen are very similar. You got your UI, your character names, you have your Trailblaze level, which is pretty much your profile level. And then you have your friends, your achievements. The store is fairly simple. But if you go into characters, things get a little bit nostalgic. Genshin Impact vibes, we have it all here. So things that are slightly different are pretty much the naming convention, details, light cones are pretty much your card player base. You have traces, which are pretty much your skills, and then you have your relics, which are set items that you can have extra buff. Yeah, Eidolons are pretty much if you manage to roll a duplicate of your character, you can upgrade them. Similar to Genshin Impact, having your constellation from 1 to 6. This is the same thing, but it's called Eidolons, which is 1 to 6 as well. So things are fairly similar in terms of the gameplay itself. If we go into Ascension mode as well, fairly similar. You're going to have to collect materials, you're going to spend a credit. The requirements for you to able to ascension from level 30 to 40. You're going to have to do dailies to farm up your experience points. Things are the same as always. Now, is there anything other that I need to show you? Well, in terms of that, the store is pretty much the same. When you do start out as a beginner, the store, you have your recommendation, you have a Starlight Exchange, you have these pretty much units that you can farm through different warps, and then you'll be able to purchase different items. You have your Ember Exchange, which is equivalent to Genshin's monthly refreshments or 24-hour refreshments, which are always things that are at a discounted levels. A lot of these stuff in here, you can roll, you can buy extra items to ascension your characters up. You have your typical gems that you can purchase and whatnot. In terms of the banner, if we quickly go back into the section, fairly similar. But the thing is, you have to keep in mind is when you're a beginner, you do get a 50 pity to be able to roll an SSR or a 5-star character, which is fairly nice. And it does only cost about 8 tickets in which you will use. However, you are guaranteed one early on, which is fairly nice. For those of you who are wondering, oh, I'm going to sit down here and keep re-rolling, keep creating accounts. By all means, a lot of people are doing that. Pretty much nothing as usual. So you have your card as well, which you can roll, which is pretty much a bonus attack. And then you have your standard pretty much banner, which you can roll every other character. So pretty much the special banner for the release is Steely. She's a quantum character, and there are different other elementals similar to Genshin, and a whole bunch of mechanic behind them. However, I will not go into detail at this rate. Anyway, that is pretty much the gist of the game. Yes, hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you hit that like button. Let me know down below if you will play this game.